Okay, hello and welcome. At this time of your life, that's if you are now a senior citizen, meaning that you are at least 60 years of age. You are in your golden years. You have actually done the hard part of your life. And by that I mean you must have put in 30 or so years, waking up every day. Yes, 30 years at least, waking up every day in order to get to your place of work or place of business for the purpose of earning a living, and in addition to raising a family. Aside that, at the same time, you must have tried to ensure that you have a decent home to retire to, when the body is no longer strong enough to, eke out a living. Now, if you have done all of that, you have done the hard part of your life, like I said before, and you have done well. Yes, but unfortunately, many people go into their senior years, as single men or single women. And by this, I mean they enter their golden years without a partner or a spouse. And the truth is that some of them who are single are not single by choice. Some are single by choice, but others are single as a result of circumstances that are beyond their control. And this includes seniors losing their spouses through death. Some lose their spouse probably through separation or divorce. Or some may even have spouses who are living in distant places. So whichever the case is, as one gets older, being single, gets a little scary for many. And this is because at this time, most seniors are already very used to having family members, around them for decades, actually. So now that the children are all grown up and have left home or are busy with their own lives, it becomes worrisome for some of them, wondering how they are going to cope as the year goes by. In the earlier years, even when family members leave home to start their own families, you know how it is in those days. They are usually close by. Only very few people move far away. So most of them are within a short distance. But with modernization and globalization, families are scattered all around the country and even abroad. And also, the close-knit fiber of the joint family is gradually crumbling, if you will notice. And these days, the nuclear family system is getting to be more common. As a result, many of our seniors find themselves isolated in empty homes, only them living at home, which was not the case many years ago, where you always have one family member or the other calling in, staying 1 or 2 weeks. Sometimes they come in without notice, and it is nothing for us. But now, it is not like that. Everybody seems to be getting, only for themselves and members of their nuclear family. In developed nations, there are provisions for seniors, we all know that, who do not wish to live alone and cannot care for themselves. They are moved into homes for the aged. But such homes are not common in Nigeria. Maybe our culture of looking after our elderlies is a reason such is not adopted, because I'm sure many people will not even want it. And so moving from having family members, in your house is busy, activities going on, to being alone, to live like a bachelor or a spinster again, is not what many people want. This is especially true for anyone who does not enjoy living alone. I know that there are exceptions. Even though it is inevitable circumstances for many, we hardly plan, for living our golden years alone. But that could happen to anybody, actually. So, of course, I know that there are some people who like to live alone, and so are looking forward to when actually they will have their homes all to themselves again. This is true for only a few, and they seem to have figured out how they are going to manage their lives. But for this category of people, let me say this. If you belong to this category, of people who enjoy, being alone, they are not lonely. they are just alone. They like the quiet of their environment. If you belong to this category of people, you need to take into consideration, the fact that there are issues that will require the assistance of someone, as you grow older. Life, for you is no longer as it used to be in your younger days. So you should make arrangements for having someone close by that you could call upon, in times of emergency. Like you suddenly fall ill, or when you face, a security challenge, there should be someone nearby who you could call upon. Thank God for cell phones. When you need assistance, you could call upon such. And also, if you are one of those who are struggling with a health challenge, and you should not live alone, no matter how much you will want to. Okay, so back to those who are retired, single, and lonely, and who do not want to be alone. Boredom and depression are some common issues that people in their golden years, experience, because there seems to be so much time in their hands, and so little to do, with the time that they have. So the thought of facing retirement or facing being alone, is sort of scary, for many. And when we are scared about certain things, you know how it is. When you are scared of something, you don't want to think about it. You don't even want to talk about it. And then we do nothing about it, as if, it will go away or it will sort itself out, with time. But, not preparing for it or planning for it or talking about it does not actually make it go away. You need to face the situation and do something about this time of your life when you are alone, if you do not want to be alone, or if it's going to cause loneliness for you. So rather than being scared and therefore not wanting to face reality, in this video, I want to talk about the possible things, that you can do to make life interesting even as you live alone. Because no matter what you think, you will still find some people who will end up living alone. So, what should you do if you find yourself living alone, single, and retired in your senior years, so as not to be bored? What are the things that you can do? What activities can you engage in? So then here we are going to talk about filling those golden years with fun times. And here are some deliberate efforts that we can make. We kickstart it with talking about setting new goals. You need to set new goals for yourself. Goal. When our kids, spouse, and maybe members of the extended family were all at home, when they are with you, your goals are probably centered around your family matters and then your work. Now that you are probably retired and your children are out pursuing their own thing, then you need to set new goals for yourself, because that is what is keeping you depressed. Now, what you were doing before is no longer there. Now, what are you going to do with that time that has now been, created for you as a result of those moving out of your home? When you were younger, you still had the same 24 hours in a day, but you had your buddies, you had your friends, you had places that you go to, and it is spontaneous. Now, all those people and those places probably are not too good for your age group at this time, and those your friends are probably have moved out of town. Some of them are late, some of them have relocated abroad. So now you have all that time to yourself. You need to set new goals that is now centered around you alone. Now you should be chasing a new purpose. You will find a new way to spend your time so as to change your outlook on life. Nothing makes failure later in life than being stagnant and not looking forward to anything. Setting of new goals. The goal that you set should cover a combination of physical, mental, and social activities. That's one, setting of new goals. And then the second thing you need to do is to connect with people. You need to start connecting with people. Research says that connecting with people reduces the risk of dementia. and it also improves our overall health and well-being. So deliberately making efforts to join groups, to share your interest, is good for you and is good for the group. You can connect with people when you take language classes. You go for French classes, you go for like Portuguese, Spanish language class. That's if you love to learn language. You shouldn't do anything you don't like. Don't force yourself. Or you could even take entrepreneurship course. If you hear of any course, workshop that is on, go for it. But make sure that it's something you have your interest in. And then you will meet people and make friends. There are also national and international organizations that you can join to provide service to humanity. This will give you some sense of fulfillment that you are giving back to society. And at the same time, enjoying your time, because there you are going to meet people. Like if you join the Nigerian Red Cross, you will meet your mates there. You will be able to connect with people. You can join road safety. There are a number of them, that you can join, organizations that you can join, and there you will connect with people. So together with enough time you have for relaxation, you will get the perfect mix for a successful and enjoyable golden years. For example, the Nigerian Red Cross, they are represented in all states of Nigeria. They have an headquarters in Abuja. If you go online to their website, you will see the address of their branch offices. So go and search for organizations online and you will find the branch that is closest to you. There's a road safety too. There's a Lions Club. Even your local faith group is also another way, to connect with people. Yes. Another thing is to, keep fit. Taking time to keep fit is good for your health. Many of us do not think that keeping fit is something we should give particular attention to. And I used to be one of those. Yes, but not anymore. I changed my perspective when I started having joint, pains, stiffness of joints, especially in my knee. And I found out that taking medication was not what I needed. I rub all sorts of things on my joints. I wear stockings. But I get to understand that it wasn't helping me. So I started taking simple exercises, that were appropriate for my age. And guess what? I noticed the difference in how I felt after a while. And I haven't stopped since then. In one of my videos, I showed a video of, my simple exercise routines. Not strenuous, just simple exercise, to oil my joints and keep fit. Let my blood flow properly. I started with exercising for 10 minutes each time, 3 times a week, just 10 minutes. I wasn't very strict with my routine, and I pick any day of the week what I just ensure is that I do it 3 times a week. 3 times a week, that's 30 minutes. That's how I started. And after a while, I started feeling better with the exercises. And I began to look forward to the next one. So you do not need to go to the gym if you do not want to. Simple exercises at home should be enough to keep you fit. With time, you will start to enjoy your time that you spend doing your exercises, and you'll be looking forward to it. In one of my videos, I showed, my exercise routine that I started at the beginning when I started, that I was doing it for 10 minutes. Though right now I do it for 30 minutes, between 20 and 30 minutes, 3 times a week. But I started with just 10 minutes, 3 times a week. And it doesn't matter even if you miss one of the days and you are only able to do it twice a week. Anything is better than nothing. So just start. Another thing you can, spend time in doing, if you are one of those who enjoy writing, you can consider writing. That is if you love writing. And this actually is very helpful. Don't allow your brain to go to sleep just because you are in your golden years. It could be writing a book, you could become a content writer, or whichever way you can write to keep your mind busy and keep your mind busy and keep yourself busy. You could also join a volunteering group. That's another area you can go into. When you volunteer, the world benefits from your expertise and experience that you have gathered over the years. The experience that you have over a long period of time, share it with people. Allow the world to benefit from it by volunteering. And you also benefit by spending time, doing what you enjoy. So it's a win-win for everyone. Simple acts of kindness and helping other individuals can keep you engaged. You are likely to have specific business or life skill which you have developed over the years. You can share those by teaching or mentoring others. There are many places that you can actually volunteer to help. For example, your local school. That's the school in your area. Why not? You can volunteer. You can even volunteer in a hospital if you are a retired nurse or a medical personnel. You can volunteer at your worship center. Or even if you have a community center around you, you can go and volunteer your time. It keeps you busy and you're offering service. You'll be surprised at the satisfaction that you'll get as a result of that. Staying involved in a volunteer sort of environment gives you, a new life and can help you maintain your mental and physical health. Volunteering, unfortunately, in our environment is not a common activity. Many people just don't go out of their way to go and volunteer in a place, but why not initiate it? You could even start a volunteer group yourself, and get, fellow retirees to join you, in the volunteer work. And that keeps you busy, keeps you active, improves your mental health. You could take part in community development. When you take an active part in your community and local area, you are often able to help others by passing on your wisdom and knowledge to them. At the same time, you are likely to meet, other senior individuals like yourself, and you share your life experiences with them. In fact, all of you exchange life experiences, and it is fun. This way, all of you will have the opportunity to share your knowledge and interesting life experiences. There are international volunteering groups. I'm sure you know about that. You can join and volunteer your service for a period of time. There are some of them that you can volunteer to go overseas for maybe between 6 months and 2 years. That is if you have the wherewithal, because for many of them, actually, the volunteering is not free. But I know that there are some that are free, but some of them are not free. So you pay, a certain amount, and you are probably responsible for your traveling cost. But if you do not mind it, if you have the money, you can volunteer. There are some that you can volunteer. You go to Ghana, to teach in schools. You go to Sierra Leone. You go to Uganda, Kenya, South Africa. There are groups. If you go online, you'll find many of them. If you just Google volunteering, and you will see them come up. Where people can go and volunteer. But for some of them, you have to pay. But the ones that are organized by the federal government or say like bodies like the United Nations, you do not pay for it. You are given a stipend. If you want to volunteer your service, for example, if you are a medical doctor, you are retired, you can volunteer your service, in these places. If you are a teacher, if you are an IT personnel, such professionals could volunteer to go abroad and get the life experience going abroad, and seeing the perspective of other people, seeing how other people live, is very interesting. So those who participate actually take the period. That's those who go abroad. They take that period, as a vacation or learning period, and so they are sort of paying for the experience, which is not bad if you have the money. Because sometimes you can have the money and you are just at home, bored, depressed. Why not go out there, use your money, and enjoy yourself? If you search the internet, you will come up with them. And you may find the ones that offer sponsorship also. The good thing is that everybody involved, both the volunteer organization and yourself, you benefit. So though you should make sure it is something you love to do, because there are different groups, volunteering to teach, volunteering to give medical help, volunteering to in a farmland. They are different. So whichever one suits your fancy is the one you volunteer for. So that's it. Another way you can also engage yourself and stay out of boredom and depression is to get a partner. If you have lost your partner, you are free to remarry. Getting married is another way of ending your loneliness. That way you have someone living with you that you talk to and share the remaining years of your life with. And many retirees have actually done it for companionship's sake. Okay, so how about making new friends? Because that's another way to stay out of boredom. When you have new friends, your friend come visiting and you go visiting your friends, and sometimes one or two of your friends will go out for just to entertain yourselves, and then you go back home. I know many people say that it is difficult to make new friends when you are at a certain age, but I believe you can make new friends at any age. If you meet people that are of like interest, it is easy to make friends with them rather than any random person. So you go through somebody who is who share the same interests with you, and that will be your point of contact. Usually at the age that you are in as a senior citizen, distance has separated you from many of your old friends, and some of them probably have even traveled abroad. Some of them are living with their kids, so you have lost touch. So as a result, you have grown apart actually, just because they are not near you. You may be talking on phone, but it's not the same as meeting up with a friend, and hanging out with a friend. So you need friends that you can meet up with that are close by. So it is said that having friends is good for the brain. That's what it is said, and they help us maintain a healthy social life. So give that a thought. If you are someone who likes to socialize but you don't have the opportunity, just find groups that are of interest to you, and you meet up. Even these organizations I talked about, if you, for example, you join the Red Cross, I'm sure you are going to meet people of like mind there, and before you know, you'll be having friends that are in the same group with you. So that's it. Another way to occupy yourself and stay out of being lonely is to babysit your grandchildren. Yes, I know that raising children can be tough, but some people are lucky to have their parents, looking after their kids on a part-time or full-time basis. You could be one of them. You could be one of those parents helping your kids to look after their children, who are your grandchildren. So if you have the energy, of course, you could spend time looking after your grandkids. Even if there is a nanny, you can help to keep an eye on the nanny, and your presence will also keep them in check, rather than just leaving the children with the nanny while your child and the in-law are off to work. So if you are there, you tend to keep a check on whoever is there giving the care. So the children could come over to your place, because that's how many people arrange it. They drop their kids with their parents, and then they go off to work, and then pick them up after work. That will surely keep you busy. And it's good. It's an opportunity to spend time with your grandkids. It's an opportunity. So they drop off the children, and then at the close of work, they pick up the kids, or sometimes they leave the children there for over the weekend, and so that they themselves could at least catch some breath. Raising kids, of course, we know that it's not a child's play. So apart from having fun with them, you are relieving your children of some of the stress of caregiving, definitely, and also saving them the cost of hiring a nanny. That's if they cannot afford it. Yes. So as a grandcarer, that's you now. As a grandma, grandpa, a grandcarer, ensure that you don't get yourself overly exhausted, by your caring role, such that it begins to have adverse effects, on your physical health. you know, declining health has deprived, you know, many people of their energy, you know, to look after young children. So if you are one of those, remember that you are not as strong as you were in your younger days. You know, when you were raising your own kids, you know how it is when you were raising your kids. You know the shouting up and down, you know the running after them to ensure that they don't injure themselves, you know, ensuring that they are busy and the rest. So you must be sure that it's something that your health will allow, so that you don't stress yourself, you know, raising your kids, because you yourself may even fall ill as a result. So you do the little that you can do if you choose to do that. Okay, so that's for spending time helping to raise your grandkids. Another way to occupy yourself is to keep up with your hobbies. Yeah, you know, we all once had hobbies, things that occupied us while we were in our younger days. But because of, you know, the marriage, raising children, running after a job, and our businesses, we seem to have dropped many of these hobbies because we didn't have time for them. So, but know that your hobbies, you know, help you to stay mentally active. Actually, it has the benefit of keeping you open to wonderful new experiences. So what are those hobbies that you used to enjoy in your earlier days? And you could even learn new ones. Yes, these hobbies could be anything you enjoy doing. Like you love to paint, pick that one up again. You love to play the piano, you love to dance, go and join a dance group and learn how to dance. If you like to collect coins, or if you love to garden, start again and garden behind your house. You know, things like that. If you love to cook, cook and share. And who knows, it may even turn into something else. But be active doing what you enjoy. That's what the hobby is all about. Okay, how about traveling when and where you can? Traveling is a very interesting activity. There are so many places you can explore within and outside Nigeria. It may not be advisable to travel within Nigeria, of course, for obvious reasons. But Nigeria does have beautiful places, you know, that you can visit, that you can go on vacation. But with the way things are now, it's not advisable. People travel only when it's really necessary, because the roads, you know, get as it be. And I'm sure you understand what I mean. So, but when things improve, you can go back to, you know, traveling again to enjoy yourself. But there are many beautiful places you can visit too, that are waiting for you outside the country, actually. So if you have the means and you love to travel, visiting new places, you know, will keep your spirit high. It will give you new knowledge, and it will keep you young at heart. The excitement when you come back from a travel, there's a difference in the way you feel. Give it a thought. If you have relations abroad, you know, that you could visit, that is good. Otherwise, you can join travel and tour companies who arrange vacation tours for travelers. They do that in group. You could join one of them. Many go to countries in Africa or even outside Africa. I'm going to talk about vacationing and, you know, some of these countries, you know, in the not too distant time. Yes. Okay, then you can also consider expanding your education. Yes, if you are the one who loves to read, there are people who love to read. They love to acquire new knowledge. Don't let that die just because, you know, you are now a senior citizen. No, continue to learn. Take classes, you know, in subjects that interest you. This way you continue to challenge your brain and you slow it down from aging. You could attend workshops. You will see advertisement now on TV, on radio, you know, even, you know, online, on the internet, you know, that advertise workshops, seminars, and even continuing education program. Pick the one that, you know, interests you and continue to learn to stimulate your brain. Okay, so this is it for those who are in their senior years, single, but do not want to be lonely and so they need more activities. That's the purpose of this video. You could adopt one or more of these, and you will eventually find out that your hands are full once again, and boredom and loneliness goes out the window. Only this time around, your hands will be full with something that you enjoy doing, activities that you have picked for yourself and which you intend to enjoy. And if you find out that you engage in any one of them and you don't enjoy it, you drop it and pick another. This is not like a job where you have to endure just because you are getting paid. You are doing this one for fun. If it's not giving you fun, you drop it and pick on another one. Okay, seniors. So I wish you the best at this stage of your life. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. You have done well. See you next time in my another video that I'll drop. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye.